You know that they're kids, right? They're little kids. They don't know how to defend themselves.
The timeline clarification comes as videos like this surface, showing parents trying to rush into the school as the rampage was unfolding, held back by local officers who are seen apparently not taking action to confront the shooter.
Why do you have a Texas law enforcement agency saying the protocol was to wait for this sort of more tactical assistance and special forces to arrive to handle the situation when there were kids dying by the minute inside of that school? And where? You mentioned one classroom. Originally, we were told that all of the victims were in that one location, and now it appears that there were 4 classrooms with kids and potentially teachers affected.
4 classrooms. In other words, the gunman did not carry out all of the killings in just one classroom, as Uvalde police initially claimed. The murderer walked around in the school, spreading the carnage, as police waited outside and held back parents who desperately wanted to try and protect their children. Hello, everybody. I'm David Shuster. Thanks for joining us. There are no words that can accurately describe the anger, rage, and grief so many Americans are feeling over all of this. There is an internet meme, though, that has certainly struck a chord. It shows an officer pointing a weapon and says, "Cops when a suspect reaches into their glove box for a driver's license," and then, with an officer sitting, quote, "Cops when a person has been shooting up an elementary school for an hour and the parents are outside screaming and crying to get in and stop him." Fair or not, that is now the image of U.S. police. The details from Uvalde make it even worse. Officials say the killer, after shooting his grandmother, drove his truck towards the elementary school and crashed the truck in a ditch. Officials say he then got out, fired towards 2 witnesses at a funeral home across the street, then walked towards the school, climbed a fence to enter the parking lot, and then began firing at the school building. Officials say 12 minutes passed from when he crashed until the time he entered the school. That's right, he was outside that school for 12 minutes. It means the police were slow to respond, never mind their cowering in fear once they got to the school. To be clear, law enforcement duties are not for everybody. Many of us don't have the courage it takes to respond immediately and charge into gunfire. However, this is the expectation we rightfully have of police. As we've reported extensively on this channel, police are trained to try and take control and dominate a situation before it gets even more dangerous. But now we've seen that when some police feel they are outgunned to begin with, they retreat. And in this case, it likely added to the death toll. At least one of the kids who was shot was apparently alive but bleeding during that hour-long wait. By the time she was taken to the hospital, she had lost too much blood and died. For her, it appears that hour wait was the difference between life and death. As the questions mount about the police and whether more good guys with a gun can make as much of an impact as banning assault-style guns, many Republicans are saying, well, guns are not the problem.
When 9/11 happened, we didn't ban planes. We secured the cockpit.
Actually, Congressman, we did ban planes for several days. Then we had new checks on all passengers, no-fly list, bans on sharp objects and liquids, plus reinforcing the cockpit. It would be the equivalent now of banning all guns for at least a week, adding new background checks on gun owners, putting dangerous people on a no-guns list, restricting certain kinds of weapons and bullets, and creating a gun safety administration with tens of thousands of workers whose job is to enforce all of this. The fact is, something has to be done. More police who might cower in the face of danger will not change a damn thing.